shall remove out of our place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roll, as sheep that no man taketh up, right? And they shall every man turn to his own people and flee into his own country. So seen a lot of people returning to their own so-called countries and so on and so forth, because they feel something wrong about this place. Okay, right? The prestige that is Babylon, that is America, has worn away, man. Okay, it's been worn down. You know, you're talking about Obadiah, the first chapter, around about the 3rd verse, when Esau was going to set his nest amongst the stars and so on and so forth. Then the Lord was going to start bringing them down. Well, that was around about the 1970s, man. Okay, so you had a peak in terms of global economic power that America had right up until around about the 1970s, when they put the so-called space shuttles out there into the skies. Now you got it to where they've been going down ever since, man. Then you might have peaks and troughs and this, that, and the third by way of the petrol dollar, by way of what's known as currency wars and so on and so forth. So Esau might have a good day, but ultimately there's a downward trend. When you understand anything about economics, well, you have peaks and troughs, but the trend is what's important, man. When you have any form of statistical data, okay, when you put it on a scatter graph, right, you always have what's known as a regression line, and whatever curve that was going to be, all right, was going to determine the nature of Esau's kingdom. And when you map out Esau's, especially America's regression line, man, that's a downward trend of what? Of going back onto being just like onto these other nations. To the end, the scripture says this, but in Isaiah the 14th chapter, are thou become as weak as we? Okay? Right? Because that nuclear technology that they had, and that was their so-called forte, that's their so-called strong center point of their pride. Well, Iran's developing that now. Okay, and America said, you can't do that. They said, look, we're going to develop that, man. Okay, you go to where China's been developing that. Okay? So now all of these countries are now they're just doing whatever they want. Like the scripture says, they're returning to their own country. If it is, when America was a superpower and they're only one of the only nuclear nations out there, you had it to where, Iranians going out there into America, they were living up there because why? Because it's a safe haven. Okay? Hey, people invest a lot of money into safe havens, man. What's known as strongholds or financially stable economies. So you gotta you take America as a macrocosm, okay? All right, and a safe haven, right, for an investor. What does an investor see? He sees a country that can do whatever it wants geopolitically, okay, and its currency not go down because why? Because they have military advantage over these different nations. Okay, so you're gonna have an influx of people moving from their own countries, their so-called home countries, into America. Because why? Because they have that nuclear advantage, which gives them a superiority. Okay, therefore giving them a stable financial lifeline. Okay, now you go to where Russia Russia always had that weaponry, so that's always been a safe haven. But now you go to where Iran's developing that. And seeing people returning onto their own land. We say, look, that's done now. Everybody's got that now. So every country is developing that now. So you got to where them investors, they're investing all over the place. So that a law of just being America being the only place where you can make some type of money, that's dwindled. Okay. And that goes back onto what the scripture was saying, that pretty much how every man was going to be turning onto his own country, because they're going to be better off in their own country, man. Okay, they're going to be better off in their own country, because ultimately when that judgment comes, which is what it comes down to, okay, which is what these people feel within their spirit, or America's going to receive the most of that judgment, man. Okay, notwithstanding other countries going to get hit and whatever, but the vast majority of that judgment is going to take place in one place, man. Okay, so let's go back onto the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. This is the 13th verse. I'll shake the heavens. Okay, so what's the heavens? Okay, you got the Shemayim, okay, which is the skies, the waters. Okay, you got the skies out there. All right, you got the heavens where the spiritual, the spirit dwells. All right, and then you got the what's known as the illustrious places. That's likened unto heaven, man. All right, so you're talking about New York. That's Esau's heaven. Okay, Dubai. That's them. That's was it Elam out there? That's their heaven. Okay, right, y'all. What Esau has established as an empire here. That's his heaven. Okay, so the Most High said he's gonna shake the heavens. So what is he talking about? He's talking about the skies. The sky's gonna shake and he's gonna shake Esau's heaven, man. And them buildings are gonna be tremble. That's why the scripture talks about it's gonna be like a tumultuous noise, man. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of that's why the scripture talks about how there's gonna be a lot of destruction up in this place, because all of them things gonna be leveled, man. Okay, Lord's gonna shake Esau's kingdom, man. Okay, hey, the scripture talks about in the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, how that it's gonna be likened unto a cottage that's shaking, man. Okay, so that when that cottage is shaking, guess what, man? Ain't nobody gonna be up in there talking about this, that, and the third, and look, that whole thing's gonna fall down to the ground. And that's what the Lord's about, man. The Lord's about establishing kingdoms, okay? And then up until that point, is that kingdom is dwelt as long as it's supposed to, the Most High is going to destroy it. And that's the same thing with Esau. The Most High played the greatest trump card on Esau, because you see, here it is, you had previous rulers and previous kingdoms, and they always had a certain reverence, an understanding that the Lord was and is, but they was just going to do their thing, okay? Okay, for instance, the Babylonians, they knew who the people of the Lord was. Why do you think they put them into captivity, man? But they knew who the Lord was. Now you had it to where their son, right before Darius the Mede came up and took him over, you had it to where the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar, he was talking all kind of madness, all right? Talking all kind of madness. He got lifted up with pride, and they got destroyed, okay? All right, and they remember that he was reminded that he was he's a living power. But I say that ultimately to say this: most of these different empires that reigned before, they always had they recognized the Lord existed. Hell, even Alexander, the so-called great reverend, he had particular understanding. Okay, he was proud. Okay, but there was no history to show that he elevated himself to the point of calling himself a god or anything like that. All right, because he still went out there into the temples within Jerusalem, and they told him that he was the goat that was going to take down the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, but I suppose you could say before he had taken that down, how was he going to be lifted up with pride? Up until the point he's taking it down. And see, that's the thing with Esau, because he's had all of these nations in such subjection, he actually thinks he's a god, man. Because he's had it to where all of these nations won't come up against him, won't come up to war against him. He actually thinks he's a god within the earth. But see, when the Most High returns, he's going to shake his heaven. He's going to roll to and fro like a drunkard, man. All right, it's going to be leveled, and he's going to be reminded that he's just nothing but a man, and it's the king, the Most High ruleth in the kingdoms of men, and he gives it to whoever he will, man. So if he's going to give it to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans for an eternity, guess what? That's what's going to happen, man. That's what's going to happen. And that's what's being prophesied from the foundations of the earth within the scriptures, that Israel at this time was going to take over the earth. Okay? And we weren't going to take it over our own force because we're so oppressed, but rather the Most High was going to sanctify us. And I might as well get that, because I've been saying that a lot today. Right? Within the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. Okay? The scripture talks about how the Lord ain't going to do it for our sake, but for his holy name's sake. Okay? He's going to do this. Okay? Hey, what's up, my man? Where you from? Be smarter than that, man. Dealing with your life right here. Okay? So this is Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. I'll go straight to the point. Right, which is the 21st verse. Okay, it says, "But I had pity on my holy name's sake, which the house of Israel had profaned, right, amongst the heathen whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord, I do this not for your sake, not because we're so righteous and we do the work and we've made ourselves so clean and so on and so forth, but rather the name of the Lord, right, for his holy name." See, man, certain cats, they don't be reading the scriptures. That's how you know guys like Nate, they ain't about the scriptures. They're about making money, man. Okay, because let's read that and examine that. Okay, Ezekiel 36 and 21 says, "But I had pity on my holy name's sake." Okay, which the house of Israel did profane amongst the heathen whither they went. So that goes to show you that there is an importance of the name to the end. The name is so important because he had given it to us, right? And we went amidst the heathens and so on and so forth. Okay, and we profaned that name because why? Because we knew that name and we did all kind of wickedness. Okay, because he had pity on his holy name's sake. That's why we were going to receive salvation. Not because you kept the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High, which is a part of keeping the faith. That goes to show you have faith. But ultimately, that's what's going to save you, man. Okay? Let's go back onto Ezekiel, the 36th chapter on the 23rd verse. It says, "And I will sanctify my great name, which they have profaned amongst the heathen, which they have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, and say the Lord power when I shall be sanctified in you, in their eyes. Okay, right? So the reason I went to that particular scripture, it says, because it talks about the sanctification again. And what did I say about the sanctification? Well, that's dealing with the vast majority of this truth, which is that you was gonna catch. So you gonna get, you really, most of this truth is about being sanctified. It's about catching hell. It's about being purged and formulated into a new man. Okay. If you ain't got it right now, then you just ain't gonna get it. So let's go back onto Ezekiel the 13th chapter and start wrapping it up. So Ezekiel 13 and 13 says, "Therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of its place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, in the day of his fierce anger." So the day of the Lord's fierce anger you're gonna be getting it work, right? Okay. Buildings gonna be rattling because of the earthquakes, and ICBM new commission's gonna set up more earthquakes, and they're gonna do their own shaking of the earth and so on and so forth. It's gonna be hella greasy out here, man. Okay, so it says here, in the 14th verse, "It shall be the chase as the chase road that no man taketh up." Right? They shall every man turn to his own people and flee to his own land. And everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So anyone that's going to be joined unto and making allegiance unto America and so on and so forth, now they're going to fall by the sword, man. Okay? They're going to fall by the sword. Okay? All right? And which is why ultimately when you have the thing where within the scriptures where it talks about how even all of them, even that she that birthed, gave thee life, pretty much roughly paraphrasing, she's going to hate. Okay? All them different countries, Germany and so on and so forth, which have been forced into which are being forced into this war, they're gonna hate the America. Okay, they're gonna turn against the ultimate. Okay, right. It says, and their children also shall be dashed to pieces. Okay, to pieces before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged. So you gotta really visualize what's going on there. So with this destruction coming about and taking place, you're gonna be few men left, right? So you're gonna have certain cats that's gonna come up in there. They want your resources. They're gonna rape, rob you, and murder your stuff, man. You're gonna ravage your wife, kill your kids. They might eat your kids, man. You seen that on the road? Not road. Sorry, the Book of Eli and that, man. Okay, that's gonna be a thing out here, right up until the Lord reestablishes us as a people and the power upon the earth, as a kingdom on the earth. Okay. So right, so 17th verse, and this is where I'm going to cut it off. So it says, I'm going to read this. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, and they shall not regard God's silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Okay, so you ain't going to be able to pay off these Russians and that, and say, look, this is what we're going to give you. You can't come to war against us, because they ain't going to accept them. Okay. All right, because the modern day, because you look into the history, that you find out that the Medo-Persians and that they went up against Babylon back then. So now you go to where a resurgence of an equivalent thing is happening. Okay, because they certain things that are parallel within the scriptures that are known as foreshadowing. And what happened with Babylon being destroyed in the history was that you had it where the Medo-Persians came up against them. Well, now you're having the same thing now. Okay, with the Most High putting the spirit upon the Russians, and they coming up against the Americans now, or more the Americans coming up against the Russians now, and that's we seen that article that's closely tied with that. Because why? Because that was the thing that the Most High set forth from the foundations of the earth, and that was going to be an instrument of bringing about destruction to this place. Okay, so pretty much with that, I'm gonna say double honesty, apostles of GMS. Okay, honesty brothers that be pushing this truth. But you're seeing these things popping off, man. You gotta do, put the informations out there, over to where brothers wake up and have their spirit quickened and so on and so forth. Okay, honesty brothers are pushing this truth, and all praises unto Yahweh, Shema, Shah, one.